Alright, haven't made a video in a while. I got this 14.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton on the bench here. Doing nothing major to it. What happened was they were having some issues with it. I think this seal here was leaking, so we took it apart, and this is the old seal right here. Probably the original. It's a 1995 motor. And he took a caulk for like a sink or a bathroom and covered the gasket in it and put it back in there to seal it back up. So that's just not a good idea at all, because oil will eat away at the caulk and the caulk can get in your engine. So I got most of the caulk off. There's still some there, as you can see. Carburetor cleaner kind of melts the stuff off, which just shows you why it's not, you shouldn't be using it on an engine. And I put the gasket in there. He could have just bought the gasket. It's, 4 miles away and $7. And that's what I did. I drove 2 miles because parts place is close to my house. Spent, $5 on it. I get it below wholesale. And I bought a new seal because every time you take these off, you're supposed to replace your seal. And that's it for that. It looks like it might be leaking a little bit of oil out of the valve cover here, but I'm not really worried about it. And his oil was full of gasoline, so I drained all his oil out, and I'm going to rebuild his carburetor because he probably got a bad needle and seat. This was his bowl. So they had water in it at one time. Yeah, not too bad. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to replace it or not. They're not that expensive. Just that's what I'm afraid of, stuff leaking off and getting in the gasoline. I don't know. What else? Oh, this was the worst thing. They were complaining about power. They had low power, and it was hard to start. So I found 3 problems. Well, 4 problems, kind of. Here's one problem. This is their coil. Yeah. It looks like it was either chewed up by a mouse or it got melted by a muffler. I didn't open it up, so I do not know, but they took this, which looks like part of a car spark plug wire, an old one, because, you change your plugs and wires, and what do you do with these things? You keep them kicking around. I got a box of them right there. Those are old plug wires. And so I'm assuming they just taped it together, which would cause weak spark. People don't think of these things. So they didn't tell me to fix that, but I'm not letting it go out of my shop like that. So I got used coil that I'll give them to them real cheap. Find a plug in there. So I bought a lot of parts, used parts, off of eBay. So I got some things kicking around here. So that's it for this, kinda, pretty much. Here's the tractor itself. It's an MTD. Nice little tractor, no rust really, except for the deck. This has got the dual blades, so there's 4 blades on this deck. So I took those all apart and sharpened them, which is a process. What else? Yeah, it's really easy to get out. Yeah. And they got a lawnmower, which is outside. I'll show you the gas tank. In case you didn't know, the 5 horsepower and the 6 horsepower Briggs & Strattons, the push mower engines, not the slant shaft or the up and downs. They're known for leaky gas tanks. and this is one of them. It's a two-piece tank, and they leak. Very common problem. And what they did on their leaky tank is they siliconed it. Well, I don't even know what that is. It looks like old caulk, and it didn't work. It still leaked. So I got a couple of these kicking around, used ones, and I put a new one on there for them. So I just got to get a new gasket for that, the one between the airbox and the carburetor. Got to get me one of those tomorrow. And right over there, that's a 6-horse. And then this is my edger, which I finally got fixed. It's just been kicking around and I hadn't fixed it, but I got it fixed up. New diaphragms in the carb, and I unstuck the valves, and it works great. It was free. So that's everything on this. I'm sure some of you out there have gotten, weird stuff like this where people try fixing it themselves, and usually it doesn't work well for them, especially when they're, trying to do it on what they got lying around their house. Instead of taking a trip to Napa, and if he took a trip to Napa, he probably could have done this right. Because if you did this with RTV silicone, and, well, not really much you could do about this. Not the right way to do this. But if he just did this with RTV silicone, I wouldn't have ripped this motor apart. I would not have. So that's everything on this. One more thing. And since he said it was hard to start, I checked out his valves, and these valves go from 0.004 to 0.006. They're very tight, and his were very, very loose. So very loose. So I tightened them to where they should be, and hopefully it'll be an easy start now. So that's it for this thing here. Yeah. The only issue I have, which I'm very frustrated about, is I'm missing a crankcase cover bolt. I don't know if it came in missing one. I think it did, but just in case it didn't, I'm gonna go get a new one, a used one, and stick it in there. I don't have any kicking around here, so that'll do tomorrow. Got a couple other parts to get. So that's everything on this motor, and people are trying to do stuff themselves, and at least they tried. I gotta give them credit for that, but they should have took it to me first. So this is a tractor, and that's a motor. That's all for now.